Om Vang me manasi pratisthita mano me bachi pratishthitam Aviravirma edhi Vedasyama ani sthaha Shrutam me ma prahasihi Anena dhitena horatran Samdadhami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sahota Vishwam Paribhutu Adhvaram Tam Uhavyaich Manusha Rinjate Gira Hirishi Pro Vridhasanaso Jarbhurat Dyaurnas Trebhich Chitayat Rodosi Anu. Let the fire be the priest of your call. Let his presence be around every pilgrim rite. This is he whom men crown with the word of the offering. He shall play in his growing fires, wearing his tiara of golden light. Like heaven with its stars, he shall give us knowledge of our steps along both the continent worlds. Along the both continent worlds is Rhodosi, yes, two firmaments, heaven and earth. Our mental and physical consciousness, heaven and earth. And in between there is this path, or prana, pranic world, antariksham, which is the place of the sacrifice. Yes, Vayu Pavamana is yajna. It is that which connects our mental and physical being. And it's quite interesting because the difference between the two is quite obvious in our life, in our psychology, in all the conflicts we have in our life with ourselves and others are built on this ground, that our willpower, our physical consciousness differs from the mental, intentional, or consciousness that looks for knowledge experience, jnana yoga, the difference between karma and jnana yoga. This conflict is now the most prominent in people who believe that the way to go forward would be just through action, activities, and not so much knowledge. And so they reject knowledge as blah blah, as too mental, It's a mental thing. Don't tell us, don't preach to us how to be. Let us be and do, and we will discover the way. And this is the total misunderstanding, because both are necessary for the fulfillment of this middle path, which is in the middle, bhakti yoga. There is the same difference between the liberty and equality. Sri Aurobindo gives this liberty, fraternity, equality. Liberty belongs to the will, freedom of individual will, physical will, so to say, physical power, physical consciousness, which is to be independent, and equality, which allows everyone to see in everyone the divine being, to realize that you are not only yourself, but there is self in everyone, and you are in everyone, and everyone is in you. And that is Jnana Yoga. So these two are constantly in contradiction. We see it everywhere in politics. We see the Democrats who are more for socialistic arrangement and Republicans who are more for the will and enterprise, whatever it may be. So we have this contradiction constantly following us everywhere. And here it is beautifully said that he shall give us knowledge of our steps along both the continent worlds. This is the actually unity, or in the Veda, in the Gita it is called yukta, the one who is united, whose will and knowledge and heart and love are united in one being. So the union of heaven and earth is considered to be the aim of the sacrifice. Yes? I got carried away a bit. But still, it's all about this union. Yeah? So may he be the summoner of your higher powers of consciousness. Why have you? Better to say our. Because, well, if we speak to, yes, to generally to everyone, this is your general, it's not yours, kind of specific. May he be the summoner of your higher powers of consciousness, taking charge of all your movements forward. I could say our, actually, of our higher powers of consciousness, taking charge of all our movements forward with a golden visage face, pushing forward the ascent to our summits. You see, our is better, I think, in this translation of mine. To our summits, not to your summits, like a heaven. And like heaven with its stars should make us conscious along or in accordance with the two luminous firmaments, heaven and earth. Sorry, there is no missing. Interestingly, that these heaven and earth are called Rodosi in the Veda. It's actually the only place where the heaven and earth are like twins, luminous twins. Rodosi means shining ones. Earth is also shining, and heaven is shining. Who can see earth shining? Only the rishis of the Veda see that. Because within the earth, in the core, there is the luminous core of the earth, yes, which is beaming through the earth. Earth is considered to be the psychic being of our galaxy or our universe. Mother says that Earth is the psychic entity. And everyone who takes body here, who is born on Earth in the physical body, is partaking of this light, of psychic light of our Earth. That's how our psychic beings are born. This is the involved divinity is on Earth. That's why she's shining. She's shining with psychic presence, and heavens are shining with the Jivatma presence, with the presence of the unborn self. There are two divine entities, two foundations. Interesting, Hiri Shiprach, it can be translated with the beard or with the mustache, which is golden. But Sri Aurobindo uses word the face or visage. Or not even that. He's not even using face. He is using tiara of golden light. Interesting, very interesting. So instead of using the mustache or beard, which is usually in the dictionary, it is so, Hirishipra, golden cheeked even, or having a golden visor. He jaws, yeah. He translates as totally different. He shall play in his growing fires, wearing his tiara of golden light. Vrdhasanaso Jarborat. With a golden visage, I translate, with a golden face, rather. Pushing forward to our summits. Vridha. Vridhasanaso. Sana is the summit. These are very ancient words, actually. Jarburat, push, excite, compel. Sano. Yeah, Shipra can be also nose by Nirukta. We do not know these words because they are only Vedic words, so we have no idea what they may mean. So by traditionally it is interpreted in many ways, so we take it from there. Yes, Kinshuk, you can always just cut in because I may not.
Okay, right. The first is that this is an interesting word, stra, meaning star, I suppose. I mean, the connection between these two is interesting.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the same etymology.
Stra,
Stella,
yes.
in
Stella. Okay.
the same stri. Yeah. Stri root is interesting, from which stella or stars are produced. It is to stretch. Stretch is the same etymology. To scatter, like sparks. Yeah. So, and these sparks, which are scattered, spread, stretched over the sky, they are stars.
I had a question about Gira, Vladimir.
Mm.
Does Gira mean the word or does it mean the sound?
It's gir.
What
Gira is by the voice, literally.
by the voice? Okay.
The first meaning is the voice, gir. From here, gl, gr, glossa.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Mhm. In Slavic, glas, golos. Golos is the voice.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anytime. Etymology is the most interesting thing because it gives us depth of understanding how all Indo-European languages work together, and also gives you a deeper meaning of the word. So what is interesting here is, again, we have two things. No, wait a minute. So he is the Hota. Vishwampari Bhutu, may he be around all as the summoner of the divine powers. May let his presence be around every pilgrim, Vishwam Adhavaram, pilgrim rite. Sri Aurobindo translates Adhavaram as pilgrim sacrifice, as the path which is constantly moving forward, as evolution, actually, evolutionary transformation. This is the indication that in the Veda we have the concept of evolution because of Yajñam Adhavaram, yes, the sacrifice pilgrim. That means man is the ever advancing pilgrim, constantly growing in his consciousness, constantly moving forward to the higher and higher summits. In this, we read in our meetings, on a height he stood, that looked upon greater heights. This is Sri Aurobindo writes about himself. He stood on the height that looked upon greater heights. So there's more to achieve, farther to go. And this constant growing in consciousness is Adhavaram. It's not translated in this way in the traditional literature. They do not know this word, actually. Though Yaska mentions that it could be from Adhavan, and Adhavan is the path, which Aurobindo associates it with, but they translate it as Adhvaram, as not hurting, which has no meaning. Yeah. Not hurting, what is this? Just nothing, really, doesn't fit anywhere. So he is the Hota who should be around Yajnamadvaram. By the way, in the first hymn of the Rig Veda, the same, he should embrace all the sacrifice, and only that sacrifice which he embraced, paribhurasi, where that you take from all sides, saideveshu gacchati, that indeed goes to the gods. So the calling, the offering goes to the gods when the Agni takes it from all sides. So there is no gap left for any other force to take charge of our life or to intervene, which corresponds beautifully with what Sri Aurobindo says about integral yoga. It's very close to the integral yoga, where he says that to have any other aim in life than to discover the divine means to make the aim of this yoga impossible. So you can't reach the divine if you have any other aim. If you have any gap, any other consideration, any other thought, any other wish, desire to achieve in life, and at the same time you don't mind the divine being there for you, that would not do the yoga. The yoga has to be totally fixed upon one aim, the divine. No gap. Paribhutu advaram. Take from all sides our pilgrim forward, our movement, our journey to the truth. And then it will succeed. It's a high demand. That's why not many people are doing it. Yeah? Because there are many other considerations in life. Family, children, money, prosperity, and so on. All right, I'm moving forward. Sanorevat samidhanach suastaye sadam sasvan. Sam dadasvan raim asmaso didihi anachrenushva suvidaya rodasi agnehavyamanusho deva vitaye. Sanorevat samidhanach suastaye sam dadasvan raim asmaso didihi anachrenushva svitaya rodasi agne havyamanusha deva vitaye. O fire, opulently kindling for our peace, let thy light arise in us and bring its gift of riches. Make earth and heaven ways for our happy journeying, and the offerings of man a means for the coming of the gods. The offerings of man are a means for the coming of the gods. Being kindled and rich in opulence for our well-being, illumine the divine wealth in us in all our parts. For us create two luminous firmaments for our perfect movement forward. O Agni, the offerings by mental being for the divine realization. By mental being, Manushach, one can translate by man, or by the one who has mind. I just always try to a little differ from Sri Aurobindo's translation in order to give a wider scope of interpretation to see more. That's why I kind of differ. Otherwise, of course, I would not translate at all, but it helps to have one more kind of point of view. And I'm trying to be very close to the meaning of the words in his light. Like mental being Manu. Manu could be of the Manu. Manushach. Revat. Revat, interesting word, is from Raich. It's a Vedic word. You can't find it anywhere else. It is that which possesses light, literally. Raivat. And together it is a wealth. Wealth because it possesses consciousness or light of consciousness. Sa nach Revat, and our own Revat, possessing light, or the consciousness which has light. Samidhanach, totally kindled. Suastaye, for suasti, for well-being. Samdada Swan, giving totally, or bringing the gift Raim, luminous wealth. Asmasu, in us. Didihi, shine. I'm translating literally that you feel the flow of poetry. The redistribution of the words is also very important, to feel how Rishi comes from one concept to another. So he, ours, literally, that ours, wealth, shining with consciousness, you totally kindled for our well-being, giving totally the riches in us you shine. This is literal translation with no connection between the words, so you could feel the flow. So there is an excitement in the Rishi's heart, In us you shine, giving totally the riches for our well-being, totally kindled for our luminous with consciousness wealth. This is the one line. Anach krenushva, and for us you create. Suvitaya, for the perfect moving forward, for the perfect progress, Rodasi, these luminous two firmaments, heaven and earth. For us you create our mental and physical consciousness. O Agni, Havyani Manushach, and of the mental beings' offerings, O God, Vitaye, for the arrival Deva Vitaye, most probably, or two words. Tremendo translates as one. Deva Vitaye, that is Deva Viti, one word. And he actually, interestingly, in this case, he makes composita. He thinks that this is like this. Deva Vitaye, one word. For the coming of the gods. Not O God for coming. O God for coming doesn't really do the justice. Yeah, but for the coming of the gods, yeah, it makes sense. If you want to say something, please always jump in, because the boat is going forward, and then It's always,
Vladimir,
yeah,
the gods are the faculties of consciousness?
absolutely.
Thank you.
In this case, of course, not like in Upanishads. In Upanishads, they are our seeing, hearing, speaking, thinking. They are more, how to say, tailored for individual consciousness. In the Upanishads, they are more psychological. In the Veda, they are more universal faculties, less individual, so to say, like Indra, the Lord of the Divine Mind. Yeah. It's not the mind faculty of human beings, it's something more, some specific range of activities of the mind in cosmos. So the same with every godhead, they are more universal, applicable not only to human beings, but to all beings. In the Upanishads, they are more, how to say, they are also universal, because seeing, hearing, speaking, these are universal faculties of universal Purusha. But they are already closer to this philosophical thinking. Yes? There is Purusha. We have Purusha appearing only in 10th mandala in the Rig Veda, and very close to the classical Sanskrit. But the whole Veda doesn't speak about Purusha. They speak about the Godheads and the Divine Mother, Aditi and Adityas more. It's only at the end of this period that we have the concept of Purusha and faculties.
So Adityas are also the senses, aren't they?
No, they are more than that. They are the universal faculties, transcendental, such as, we can compare them with Mahashaktis of the Tantra and of the integral yoga, by the way. Like purity of the divine existence, the luminosity of the divine consciousness, power, yes, and bliss, ananda, they are them.
I see the qualities.
Right. Or rather, even not qualities, but faculties, higher faculties of being, consciousness, force, power, bliss, truth. Those first emanations which fell into the opposite. These are adityas. And triple supermind. So there is another system of thinking, so to say. They are not yet qualities even. They are kind of levels of consciousness and being. On that level, you have certain qualities. I think that all the qualities we speak about, such as sincerity, humility, and so on, in the mother symbol, I think, if you want to know, they are all the projection of the delight of existence, of Ananda. Ananda emanates in particular qualities, emanating purity of the divine being as bliss, emanating power as courage and progress, emanating truth as equality and generosity and peace. So it will be emanated in a particular enjoyment as eternal dharma, says Sri Aurobindo says. If we connect all the dots on, then we will see that what it means is that these are the powers which allow us to make right choices. Because it brings bliss. Every right choice brings bliss, and we know that we want that bliss, so we are ready to make right choices. Sri Aurobindo says, if you once experience these eternal dharmas, such as courage or generosity, once truly experience the joy of having it or experiencing it, you will always have a tendency to come back to it, wanting it, searching for it, to again exercise this quality. Because that is the delight which cannot be compared to any other.
Thank you.
Yes, it's connecting our kind of integral yoga thoughts. The Veda doesn't have them separate. It has them on the level of consciousness. Yes? The qualities are there of a particular kind. Quality of the vastness of the divine being. How can you describe that purity of the being? When we will read hymns to Varuna, we will find it. And the qualities will be highlighted. All right, let us go ahead. Da no Agni Brahato Dah Sahasrinach Durona Vajam Shrutiyai Apavriddhi Prachi Dyava Prithivi Brahmana Kriddhi Suarna Shukram Ushaso Vididyutah. This is so beautiful. Da no Agni Brihato Da Sahasrina. Twice Da. And Da means give. Give to us, O Agni, vastness. Give the thousands. So, O fire, give us the vast possessions, the thousandfold riches. Open to inspiration like gates, the plenitude. Open to inspiration like gates, the plenitude. What a complex thought. Do you understand what it means even? Open to inspiration like gates, the plenitude. Open the plenitude to inspiration like the gates. Yeah? Make earth and heaven turned to the beyond by the word. The dawns have broken into splendor as if there shone the brilliant world of the sun. This is also so beautiful. The dawns actually represent the light of the sun. They are first to come before the sun. So they break through, they break into the splendor. They have broken into the splendor as if they are shown the brilliant world of the sun. Dah is the aorist without augment. It's used only in the Veda, and we call it injunctive. So it is used in this case as the imperative, but it can be in any case, in any tense, in any modality. Give to us, O Agni, of our vastness. I'm keeping with literal translation. Give that of the 1,000 times. Of the 1,000 times should not be there. Remove the cover from the gates of plenitude for our inspirational knowledge, Shrutiyai, for Shruti. Create for us with your word heaven and earth turned turned always forward. Prachi, turned always to the east. And when it is turned to the east or forward is east, yes, because everything comes from the east. The whole sky comes to us from the east. The sun comes from the east, because our earth is turning towards the east, so everything rolls onto us from the east. So it means forward, or towards the movement forward, yeah, to the future. Create for us heaven and earth with your word rising from the heart. So towards Brahman is the word rising from the heart. Towards the forward. Yeah? Create for us our mental and physical being moving forward with your word, with mantra rising from the heart. Suvarna Shukram, as if the light, the brightness of the heavenly world, Ushasavid Didyutach, the dawns broke into light. So this is already kind of reaching the kind of climax, because when Rishi speaks this way, that means yeah, it feels like he's already there.
Vladimir, can you please explain a little bit more about the mantra coming from the heart and
By the way, it's from Sri Aurobindo. All these interpretations are built on his explanations. He says that there are two types of mantras. There are more. There is stuti also, the establishing within oneself the power of the deity, or stotra, the same, from root stu, to praise, but to praise as stabilizing the presence of the deity. That is one mantra. There is another mantra. Mantra is the one which carries the mind, or which transmits a certain fixation, because manas is mind, is the power of focusing consciousness upon any object of sense. So this power of focusing can be carried forward. From here also dhi, the same idea, fixing consciousness upon anything, and can be carried by the deity forward. So you fix your consciousness upon the light of the deity, and the divine sun will carry it forward, as it is in the Gayatri mantra. Yes, Dhiyo yonav prachodayat. Why? Because we fixed our consciousness upon his light, and he will move it forward. We can't move forward. Agni can move us forward. Yes, Sabitar can move us forward. Forward in spiritual sense. Yeah, we can't move ourselves forward without their help. And Brahman, he says, is the mantra, which is the word rising from the heart. And actually, Brahman in the Veda is the hymn. It's the word, it's not the spirit yet. It's from root brich, to expand, to grow. Yeah? From here, Brahman later as a spirit. But in the Veda, it is more the word. And Brahmanaspati or Brihaspati is the Lord of the Divine Word, not of the Spirit. And Brahmana, actually, the Brahmin, is the one who carries the Word. And Brahmanam, the commentaries on the Veda, Shatapatha Brahmana, Taitiriya Brahmana, Aitareya Brahmana, is the commentary on the mantras. So I'm just saying how many times we are using this word without even knowing that this is the word and not the spirit. Why it is from the heart? Because Brahmanaspati or Brihaspati is the Lord which is located in the heart, with 7 tongues, 7 rishis. His 7 sons are Angiras rishis, yes? 7 rays, 7 flames, 7 rishis. he is the Angiras Brihaspati or Brahmanaspati, the major Angiras. It is by that Brahman that the union of heaven and earth is achieved. It is by the word that the aspiration from below, the Agni, the flame from below, can reach to heaven and unite with heaven with the help of Brahman. That's why he even said directly, create for us heaven and earth with your word, which unites heaven and earth, to move forward, not to stay in stagnation, our mental and physical consciousness, but evolve and develop, create for us developing movement of our physical and mental consciousness with your luminous word.
Vladimir, one thought, I always had this mental. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I always had this mental picture of the three sisters, that is Saraswati, Bharati, not Ida maybe, but Saraswati and Bharati, moving the word forward till it reaches Indra in the head or in heavens. And then Indra comes down. Is this an okay?
Well, in the Veda, they are the streams from heaven. They are the supramental powers. They are descending rivers, not ascending. Maybe
That is what I had a doubt about. Yes, that is. I had an idea that they were ascending rivers.
right. Later, when in post-Vedic period, when this idea of descent of higher powers into the body becomes obsolete, there is no more descent. There is only ascent. And there is Kundalini Shakti. There's everything from below up. We move from bottom up. The whole Tantra, the whole yoga is built on this. Why? Because there was some kind of separation from the overmental realms, from Swar world. These godheads who were the representatives of this Swar world, of the world of the ray of the sun, or overmind, which Veda describes as overmind, became the realm of Maya. And it is a realm of Maya in the Veda, Maya as a creative force. So, yes. But in the post-Vedic, it became the realm of illusion. And all these godheads lost their importance and power, every one of them. Indra became very small god. And as you know, even in the Mahabharata already. And Surya also is some kind of, there are rivalries between Indra and Surya. They are fighting Karna and Arjuna. This kind of belittling these gods takes more and more place. In Puranas, they are already kind of like human beings. Because of that, that realm was lost. Why it was lost? Because the transformation of the physical, of our nature, became out of question. Yes? It became impossible.
Not a goal anymore.
And it was impossible even to kind of, they announced it as impossibility to transform human nature. So only to reach the divine beyond you can do that. Destroy the nature and go back to your origin. That was the goal. So because of that, the importance of all these godheads, which are participating in transformation of nature, got lost. And the Swar world first, they became the realm of Maya, illusion. And after that, the realm of supermind, Vijnana, Vijnana Maya Purusha, or Vijnanam Brahma, became very small thing. Vijnanam became the scientific knowledge, That's it. That supermind became just the intellectual intellect. discerning intellect because of that.
There has been a decline, I think, right from the beginning. It has been a constant decline. Isn't that correct? With a
Absolutely.
few, with a few this thing because of Tantra, maybe Tantra went upwards again, but overall there has been always a decline.
Decline from in comparison to the Veda, yes.
Yes, yes.
That's what Sri Aurobindo says also, and nobody believed him. Radhakrishnan was saying, oh, this is a very interesting idea that we are constantly declining from the heights of the spiritual knowledge. But we believe in progress, he says. So we cannot take this idea. We believe that we are constantly going, like, becoming better and better. We believe in betterment, in progress.
Even the earlier question regarding gods as faculties of consciousness in the Upanishads versus gods as, let's say, levels of universal consciousness. If you think about it, it's related to the development of the concept of an aham, which actually did not exist in the Vedas. In the Upanishads, the concept was maybe more developed of aham or ahamkar or individuality.
Yeah.
So the gods became kind of individualized, or rather, assisters of the individual.
Absolutely, yeah, very true. In the Upanishads, there is no yet Ahamkara fully developed. It is in Sankhya.
Sankhya, yes, yes.
So that is the result of the post-Vedic period. Upanishads are the end of the Vedic, beginning of Sankhya. Yeah. So Sankhya kind of distilled from there and created Ahamkara. In Upanishads, faculties are still kind of representing Purusha in the older Upanishads, because there are so many Upanishads. Yeah.
Yes.
There are hundreds of Upanishads, 280 of them. There are even Muslim Upanishads, even Christian.
There is. There is, yes.
All right.
Thank you, Vladimir.
Yes. And then we come to number 8, 4. We will cover today. Sa idhana ushaso rami ya anu. Suarna didet. Arushena bhanuna. Hotrabhich agnir manushach swadhvaro raja visham. Atithich charo ayave. Kindled in the procession of the beautiful dawns. Procession of the beautiful dawns, the hues upon hues. Yes, there are 33 dawns, 33 hues, 33 sisters, with all different hues, one after the other. This is their procession, and he's kindled in that procession. He shall break into roseate splendor like the world of the sun. O fire, making effective pilgrim ride by men's voices of offering, thou art the king of the peoples, and the guest delightful to the human being. It's when I read this one after the other, verse by verse, if you read verse by verse by yourself without any interpretation, interfering, explanation, you would feel something very interesting. It is like piling up, the force upon force, presence upon presence, which is thickening and thickening and becoming more and more tangible, more and more pleasant for your ear, for your inner ear, and for your inner sight. And then it's like a honey, yeah. It's growing like a honeycomb, more and more and more compiling. So here the piling up is really justified. In general, piling up is a very heavy business. But here with these words, he repeats that he is the king of the people. He is the guest of the living being. He is this and that. He is our pilgrim sacrifice with our offerings and callings. And he just said that in a different form before, but it looks always kind of as if you put more and more focus on it or something. You see better and better. These are not just metaphors or similes or comparisons or some kind of. They are becoming powers. It is totally true. He is the king or the shining Lord of all those who entered into this manifestation. If I translate one phrase, Raja Visham, Vish are those peoples. Peoples are those who entered into this manifestation, took the body upon themselves, were born here. And he is the shining Lord of all of them, because they are of his substance. He is their father. They are sparks of his flame. You know, it's all connected. Simple phrase, the king of the peoples, means much more than just what we can say in translation. So following the dawns and the night, he is kindled. He is constantly kindled. Either in the dawns, in their hues, or in the night, he is still shining. He is not extinguished. Like Swar world, he should shine with roseate, splendor, brightness, with rosy color. Why rosy? Interesting. Something about this color, this psychic shade of it. And by the invocations and offerings, Agni becomes a perfect pilgrim on the paths of man. It is him who is moving forward us, because we are him, the king of the peoples who entered this world, the guest of delight for the life force of man. I just spread out Charu, Atithih Charu, beautiful guest, literally, maybe not of delight, the beautiful guest for the life force of man. Ayave, Ayu can be translated as man or the life force, yes, of man, or life force simply without man. From here, Ayurveda, yes, Ayu is the life force. These are known words for you, no? Charu, Ayu, Atithi. So you know them. So you know half of the words immediately. Agni, Manu, Ushas, Svar, Bhanu. For Indians, it's much easier, of course, to read the text. Okay, I will stop here. And if you have something to say, I will open. Yeah, please do. I know it's a little bit like washing away everything from our brain. But once in a while it's good to do.
You said for Indians it is easier. Sometimes it is more difficult because some of the words have been so twisted in the current language, it becomes very difficult to
Uh,
see the other meaning.
yeah, root meaning. You have to see the root meaning, yes.
Yeah.
That's what Sri Aurobindo taught us, to go to the roots, yeah? And from the root, think why he uses that particular, for example, Bhanuna. Why Bhanuna and a Jyotisha, or I don't know, Diva, or some other word, yeah?
Bhanuna has a very faint similarity with something that is heated. Bhap,
But you
Bhanu.
have Pratibha, for example.
Yeah.
That's like intuition. Interesting, yeah? It's a kind of reflection. Some kind of Bha as to shine, as to appear. But we have to go deeper, deeper, deeper. Bha to compare with Bhi, with Bhu, with Bri, with all. Why this Bha is there? And if you compare, you will see that this has something to do with beingness, with appearance of light as representative of being. Yeah? It's an amazing thing. And once you come back with that idea to this verse, you will see something more. So Rishi didn't choose this word at because it fits by sound or something. It was chosen consciously, functionally, consciously. We are not doing our justice to these verses. We're just rushing through. But if you go deeper into every word, you will see that it makes totally new sense. Arushena Bhanuna with Arusha. Arusha or Aruna is this rosy. Interesting because rose, yes, close in the meaning. So with this rosy, roseate appearance, roseate light appearance. So this is what it is. Not just shininess. It has some substantial presence in it. It's not just a glimmering, glittering of some kind. Yeah, it's more full of presence, dense, substantial presence, luminous and roseate. You feel the thickness of it, the bulkiness, the heaviness of it.
Sometimes I get a feeling, and I read somewhere that the entire Vedas is all about shine, shine, light, light, shine, color. And it's almost like they were written by people who thought in terms of light alone and color alone. And if we translate it in a very, very simple sense, all we'll get is shine, 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 and everything. So
Absolutely. Even this verse, which we are kind of focusing upon, if you look at it, this is amazing. Since you mentioned it, so he kindled, first kindle, flaming, um, uh, following the shining dawns, because dawns are shining. Ush is from vas, from the shining. He flaming, following the shining dawns and night is interesting. Rami or Ratri also is the word which is from Ra, to shine, because
Ramya actually means beautiful too.
also, yeah.
Ramya, yeah.
But Ra, the foundation of Ra, Raich, Radhas, all these are the wealth, because wealth is shining. And Ratri, you will be surprised, but it is also coming, the one who carries the light, because the night is starry. It's very shiny, it seems, yeah. And there is a moon there, and so on. So she is not Ratri word as shining night. But there is another word, nakta, which is dark without light in it. Yeah. So there are two words for night, or even more, but I'm just telling you. So here, even night is full of light. And Swarna, like the luminous realm of the sun, the dead, one should illumine Arushena with a roseate shininess of the substance. So this every word has the meaning of light, but I mean it, every word. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words, substantives are all related to some kind of light. Yeah, so you're totally true.
I
Vladimir,
forget where it says it, but somewhere it says that God is light.
Yeah, Deva is from Div to shine, actually. Yeah. Divine is from shining. From here, Diauch, heaven, which is shining. And from Diauch is Zeus. Zeus, we don't know why Zeus is Zeus, because Diauch, shining. Yes, Deepti, you wanted to say something.
yeah, I was just wondering, do the Vedas belong to Satya Yoga? When we also mentioned like there's always a decline. So according to the yugas,
According to Sri
are any
Aurobindo,
parallel? Yeah.
they belong to the symbolic age. Yeah. Symbolic age is that age of Satya Yuga. Satya, you see, these 4 yugas, it's like holographic picture, you know. Within each yuga, there are 4 yugas, yeah. So even our Kali Yuga has the Satya Yuga stage, and then it declines to Kali Yuga. So we are in that Kali Yuga. So if you divide each stage in 4, you will have this kind of, you know, intensity at the end of Kali and the beginning of Satya. So in that sense, yes, it's more Satya Yuga, but in which period we do not know. Yeah. So there are Maha Yugas also, within which there are smaller yugas, within which there are smaller yugas. And these 4 Maha Yugas constitute Manvantara. And Manvantaras have gaps in between pralayas. So we will withdraw as a group soul from this. Kind of review what we achieved and what we failed with, and make a new plan and come back in a new Manvantara with new Manu, with new set of rishis bringing new Veda, and start a new journey. Not new, but new cycle of journey, new Manvantara. And Mother says now, in this Manvantara, since Sri Aurobindo came here, the pralaya is not needed. There will be transition to Satya Yoga without leaving the body, which makes it a unique Manvantara, unique transition. We live in the most unique time. If we can only see it, we can't see anything except Kali Yuga. All right, I will close with mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.